How's it going, guys? Today I have a real special treat for you. I just received via FedEx my Steinhart Ocean 1 red vintage watch. It came directly from the manufacturer, Steinhart Timepieces, in Germany. So let's take a look, guys. Let's see what we got. We just got some watch specifications. Oh, take a look at that. Congratulations on buying a Steinhart watch. And you can see it's got the ETA 2824-2 Swiss movement. Just what I wanted. Alright, let's take this out. Moment of truth, guys. Oh, wow. That watch is gorgeous. There's the serial number. You can still see it's got some plastic around the bracelet. My initial impressions are really nice. It's already going, actually. Let me wind it up a bit. Wow, that crown action is very, very smooth. Yeah. So you know what, guys? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the plastics and the tags, and I'm going to get this size to my wrist as well. And I'll come back after I wear it for a bit, and I'll just give you guys a good review and let you know what I think about this watch. Okay guys, it's update time. So I've had this Steinhart Ocean 1 Vintage Red on my wrist for about 3 days non-stop right now. And my overall impressions are pretty good. I'm going to talk about the design and the dimensions of the watch really quickly. First and foremost, let's get this out of the way. This is a homage watch. Steinhart did a homage to the Roxel Sea Dweller that was made popular in the late 60s, early 70s. And they had a red version of the Sea Dweller. I think it was reference 1665. But what made it slightly different was just the lettering on the dial near the bottom. It had 2 rows of red lettering, similar to this current piece here. And overall, the aesthetics for this watch just closely match that and give it that really nice vintage look. With respect to the dimensions of this watch, it's proportioned really well. Again, this is the 42mm version. Steinhart does offer Ocean 1s at a 39mm if you have a smaller wrist. But this one fits me really, really well. If you flip it over here and you look at the height of the watch, this version has a slightly domed sapphire crystal. It adds to the height ever so slightly. It's just shy of 14mm in height. Tip to tip here, or lug to lug I should say, you're looking at 50mm. And then the bracelet size here, for distance between the lugs this way, is 22mm. So nice dimensions. Now let's talk more about, the design of the watch. You do have that really nice vintage look. The hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand all have a yellow patina look, as do all the hour markers. These are all loomed really well. It uses Superluminova, the old radium edition. And it's a really nice black dial, simple black dial. You have pretty straightforward chaptering around the outside of a dial where the seconds are. At the 12 o'clock you have Steinhart written with the Steinhart logo. And then closer to 6 o'clock you do have the red lettering for the Ocean 1 submersible to 1,000 feet. And then below that you have the conversion. 1,000 feet is equal to 300 meters, which is great for someone like me in Canada, which follows metric. And you have automatic movement, professional. Speaking on the automatic movement, again, I think I mentioned it during the unboxing. This bad boy runs the ETA 2824-2, which is a workhorse Swiss movement, about a 38-hour power reserve, 25 joules. It's keeping good time. I've kept a close eye on it. This guy picked up about 6 seconds a day so far, which is completely acceptable, I think. It's not a certified chronometer, but it's pretty close in accuracy. You really have a nice black aluminum bezel insert as well. And if you look at the loom pip at the 12 here, it's rocking that same vintage look with the Luminova. I'm actually going to throw up a loom shot for you guys too, so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's very visible. It doesn't scream loom like some of the Seiko divers do that uses Lumibrite, but overall it's very adequate. Getting back to the bezel, I think the teeth are machined pretty well. It's a bit of a stiff bezel, 120 clicks, being unidirectional. It's a little hard to operate with these white gloves on, but it's easy to grip, barehanded for sure. And importantly, for me anyways, it lines up really nicely, I think. Yeah, it's lined up perfectly well. I also think I mentioned during the unboxing the screw-down crown. It threads really nice. You can see it's signed with the Steinhart logo. You have some nice polishing and finishing on the side here. And then you have more of a brush finish up top and all along the bracelet. Again, the bracelet's nice. It's 22 millimeters at the lugs. It tapers all the way down to about 18 millimeters though. And then you have this rather simple but effective clasp with a Steinhart logo here. It just unlocks, pops open. And then you can see fairly nice machined stainless steel mechanism to the clasp. Let's look at the case back here. I mean, it's a nicely done case back. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that, but it's got an etched in Steinhart logo, the gentleman riding the seahorse with a trident. It does indicate the sapphire crystal, 300 meter water resistance, and Swiss movement. You can also see that there's solid end links here, which I think I did mention for the bracelet. And also for sizing the bracelet, it was nice. The pin and collar system, they use screws for the pins, so you can really just unscrew and resize pretty easily. And also for the clasp, there's multiple micro adjustments you can make here, so you could really get this to fit like a glove. And speaking of which, I'll just throw it on the wrist now so you guys can see how it wears. And that's a good wrist shot right there, guys. As you can see, it fits on my wrist really, really nicely. It's a very strong value proposition, really. What I like is that, for me, I wanted to get something that looked vintage because I always thought I should have a vintage diver in my collection, but I just don't have enough knowledge to go out and, buy one and know what I'm getting. If it's, on the gray market or if it's slightly used, you want to make sure that, you have an authentic piece. But in this case, you're basically getting a brand new watch with a nice vintage aesthetic. I also wanted something that did resemble a Rolex Submariner, just because I wanted to see, down the line, would getting a Rolex be one of my grail watches? Personally, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. And specifically for this channel, I'm reviewing, more entry-level to mid-range luxury pieces that you can wear every day, just feel comfortable in, and just get a lot of enjoyment out of. So this does really, it's a really good value proposition for sure. It would be interesting to see how this stacks up to some of my other entry-level Swiss divers. Actually, let me know in the comments below, guys, if you want to see some sort of duel, maybe against like my Glycine combat sub. I think that'd be really interesting just to compare them side by side. So overall, great watch. It's hard to think of really any negatives with this price point. I mean, I do have to say, for some people, you won't really appreciate the case shape, that the lugs are straight across at 50 millimeters. I really wish that the lugs tapered down and hugged your wrist a little more. For me, it's not a big deal. I think you can see I wear it pretty well. I have a 7¼ inch wrist, but I know for others, they might find this a little challenging. And in that case, they can, you can purchase the 39 millimeter version of the Ocean 1. But other than that, I really, really enjoy this watch a lot. And again, this was purchased directly from Steinhart in Germany. They shipped it the day after I put in the order, and it got into Canada, into my hands, pretty quickly, in under a week. So, I do appreciate their customer service, and I'll have to check out more of their pieces in the future. So that's my quick review, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the unboxing, and hopefully you get to see, maybe a duel in the future for this watch. Take care, guys.